It's Tuesday, January 17th. Welcome to the News Diet. Today, I'm going to talk about the third batch of classified documents found in Biden's personal possession, Tesla's price cuts, New York City Mayor Adams' visit to the southern border, the debt ceiling, and the questionable new food pyramid. Let's be informed so we can get on with our day. This saga of classified documents being found in personal possession continues, with a third batch found at Biden's Delaware residence last Thursday. This comes shortly after the news broke that classified documents were found in a personal office back in November, and also more were found in his garage, which Biden made sure to clarify was at least locked.
I'm going to get a chance to speak on all this, God willing, soon. But as I said earlier this week, people, and by the way, my Corvette's in a locked garage, okay? So it's not like you're sitting out in the street.
So
but anyway,
was in a locked garage.
Yes, as well as my Corvette.
Like I talked about last week, these discoveries are creating outrage from Republicans, considering the ongoing investigations into Trump due to his possessions of classified materials. He's had his Mar-a-Lago residence searched by the FBI and been the target of Democrat calls to be prosecuted. Republicans are saying that Biden should receive the same treatment. But defenders are claiming that the two situations are different, pointing to the difference in the amount of documents found and also the level of perceived cooperation with authorities. Biden's lawyers claim that in total, only about 24 papers have been found, and that they were supposedly returned to the National Archives immediately upon discovery, whereas over 300 documents were forcefully retrieved from Trump's residence after authorities struggled to get access. And then you have others pointing out that the optics alone should call for similar responses, as it could easily look like political discrimination if Biden did not receive similar treatment. Already, though, Attorney General Merrick Garland did assign Special Counsel Robert Hur to investigate. Before the next story, I just wanted to thank you for tuning in and following the show. If you're enjoying the News Diet, then hitting that subscribe button right now can make a massive difference in helping this show grow and reach new audiences. So if you feel compelled, please feel free to follow along permanently by becoming a subscriber. According to Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, the U.S. could reach its debt ceiling by Thursday. The debt ceiling is how much money the federal government can borrow in order to meet its legal obligations like military funding, tax refunds, Social Security, and Medicare. And the issue of reaching its limit has come up many times before. Usually, to prevent the country from defaulting, Congress has just raised the cap, like it did in December 2021 when it was increased by $2.5 trillion to a total of $31.4 trillion. But here, the new Republican House has expressed hesitation to raise the limit unless spending cuts are also made. But the White House press secretary said on Friday, quote, "There's going to be no negotiation over it. This is something that must get done." And also that, quote, "It is one of the basic items that Congress has to deal with, and it should be done without condition." Newly appointed House Speaker Kevin McCarthy has hinted at a possible deal allowing for a temporary increase, but it's not clear how well this will go over with fellow Republicans who expect spending controls instead of hiring borrowing allowances. In his bid for Speaker, McCarthy had to make concessions and commitments with many fellow GOP Congress members in exchange for votes. So he's balancing a rope right now between towing party lines and also ensuring that the country doesn't default on its obligations, which would be the first time in its history. New York City Mayor Eric Adams made an unprecedented trip to the southern border on Sunday to the city of El Paso, Texas. It's not common for a mayor from a northeastern state to make an appearance at the border to speak on immigration issues, but Mayor Adams has found himself at the center of the issue as Texas Governor Abbott started busing thousands of illegal migrants to New York City, along with other major cities like Washington, D.C. and Chicago. The governor has been doing this to make a statement on the lack of action towards border control, considering the country is experiencing record numbers of migrants at the southern border that disproportionately affects adjacent states like Texas. He claims that the Biden administration hasn't done enough to tackle the issue and generally blasts pro-immigration views from those that don't have to experience the ramifications firsthand. Mayor Adams has said that the estimated 40,000 migrants dropped in his city could be raking up costs of about $2 billion. And this is for a city that's already facing issues with homelessness and crime. As for El Paso, according to city officials, about 900 people cross the border into the city every day. Recently, Tesla has been making the unusual move of lowering their prices by as much as 20% in some markets. This is likely due to the increase in electric vehicle competition that's quickly threatening Tesla's spot as the best-selling EV. According to S&P Global Mobility, its market share has gone from 79% of EVs in 2020 to 65% as of September. And most of the movement has been for those vehicles under $50,000. With Tesla being mostly considered a luxury brand, the introduction of competing EVs in the lower price range has made it more difficult for Tesla to compete with. Although they do have the more affordable options of the Model 3 and the Model Y that are actually now eligible for new tax incentives of $7,500 thanks to the price cuts that now put them in that category. The tax credit applies to electric cars under $55,000, and Tesla's cuts now put both of these models under that threshold after originally being above $60K. Overall, the cars are seeing reductions between 1 to 20% in its key markets of the US, China, and Germany, which is causing criticisms from buyers who purchased their vehicles right before the price cuts. This story is actually pulling from a graph released back in September, but has actually been making the rounds now, showing a new food pyramid that supposedly took 3 years to make and cost millions of taxpayer dollars. The reason why it's catching people's attention is that the nutrition recommendations have a lot of people scratching their heads. The graphic causing the buzz was presented at a White House-hosted conference on nutrition and health in America, and it was presented by the Dean of Tufts School of Nutrition. This chart organized certain foods in one of 3 categories, either foods to be minimized, to be moderated, or to be encouraged. And some of the foods that made the cut are admittedly a little confusing. For example, it scored Lucky Charms cereal, almost the same score as skinless chicken breast and whole wheat bread, and way above milk and cheese. Also, throughout the recommendations, they highly recommended items like frosted mini wheats and Cheerios over almost all other foods. No response from the study organizers has been given yet, but this updated food pyramid has raised a lot of eyebrows. You've just been informed, and now it's time to get on with your day. I'm Michele Carroll. Thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed the episode and want to continue following a healthier alternative for staying informed, where I forgo partisan fighting and fear-driven narratives and just get to the point, then please be sure to hit that subscribe button, as of course you'll get more of this show in your feed, and also you'll be helping this new channel grow and reject sensational media. Thank you so much for your support, and I can't wait to see you in the next episode.